That, of course, is number 9, Mr. Drew Brees, just months away. It'll be official. He'll get inducted into the NFL football. That's redundant. In the NFL Hall of Fame up in Canton, Ohio. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls. Mario, you're pulling yourself up to the microphone in the booth. What's going on? You have something to say?
No, not really. It was just configured weird. Now it's configured better.
Gotcha. So now you're prepared to speak when spoken to, Confucius.
Yeah, and maybe it's not redundant. Maybe there's a National Folding League or something that has a Hall of Fame.
What's that?
The NFL. You said football. NFL is redundant. Maybe it's
the
not.
The Folding League? Yeah. That's the NBA, right?
Or National Flag League. I don't know.
Yeah. I saw Brady throwing something over the weekend.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, huh? The flag football players taking it to the NFL players.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, Mario, we'll talk in a few minutes about potential arena expansion. By the way, I don't know if you noticed that those plans are from like last summer. The reason they're out, strictly because the Times-Picayune had a public records request to get them, and then once they got them, they broke the story. But those plans are from like last summer. They're like 6-8 months old.
Yeah, still good journalism.
Good job, and I'm not knocking the Times-Picayune at all, but it isn't like the Pelicans didn't release those.
No, yeah, it's just good journalism.
It's just good journalism by the Times-Picayune, exactly.
Yep, nobody has to sue anybody.
No, well, they found out about it. This info didn't need to be released to the public. It's like readily available, I guess. And the Times-Picayune requested it, and they got it. And then they broke the story on it. So I guess it's the best way to say the upgrades for the Smoothie King Center are related to that Times-Picayune public records request. They may not be official. They may not be the final plans. They may not be on what the Pelicans have decided, one way or another. But anyway, we'll talk about those in a little while, Mario. I mean, real quick, for all I can gather from it, besides like a bunch of cosmetic things, and it's significant, they're adding 2,200 seats to the lower bowl. The lower bowl goes from like 7,100, which is too low in the NBA, to over 9,000. And then the overall arena increases. I think the upper deck decreases by maybe 500 only. So they're actually right now, isn't it something like 18-2 is a sellout or 18-1?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yes.
It'll be like 19-6 or something like that.
Yeah. It'll be over 19,000 people. It'll be in the top half of capacity for NBA arenas. It's in the bottom half now. So
yeah.
If that's what you're looking at, it's an improvement there.
Well, I guess, with the Pelicans wanting more seats down low. That's supposedly the broken model with the Smoothie King Center. There aren't enough premium seats in the lower bowl.
Yes.
So they're going to add 2,000 there, and I guess that gets them up to snuff, and they're going to go from there. Everything else is kind of just cosmetic, and I like it. Busting out some walls, putting in some windows, some glass, expanding some buildings outside of the physical arena footprint. But I mean, once you're in the building, you wouldn't know you're leaving the footprint of the building. They're just going to add some little wings onto it. At a plaza for partying and stuff.
Yeah, like you said, outside the arena, they're adding some cool stuff. I think you'll have like some glass. It'll look more modern. You can see inside the arena from outside, and they'll have like the arena's version of Champion Square, I guess, to the left
Pelicans
of the arena.
Plaza or something like that.
Yeah, like by where the Champions parking garage is now, across the street from Champion Square.
Maybe that street that surrounds the arena goes bye.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So it'll be more like modern NBA arenas there. And you can have concerts and stuff, not even just for Pelicans games. It'll be good for the arena in general.
You almost don't need the street around the arena, just the back end where the service entry is.
Yeah, but that's good. It's looked the same since like 2005. It's good that it's getting a facelift from the outside.
Yep, and it looks like it's all going to be one color maybe. It looks like the panels and the roof maybe all like gray or silver or something like that.
Yeah, still going to look better than it does now.
No, definitely an improvement. I'm guessing a couple $100 million. Like there's talk of, do you have to blow out the whole inside and you're just keeping the shell of the building? That's $500 million. That's 500 million. But if you keep the upper deck, and it looks like they're keeping the upper deck pretty much untouched and just reconfiguring the lower bowl, I'm thinking a few $100 million.
Yeah. Another interesting thing, at least from the Jeff Duncan article that I read, is all the progress is going to be made during the offseason. Like, it's not going to affect the team. They're not going to have to play in another arena,
which is amazing.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
But then again, is it going to be like Vanderbilt's football stadium a couple years ago, where they're very clearly undergoing construction and it just doesn't look good?
No, I mean, I think what you're doing is one season you're probably doing all the exterior stuff and some interior stuff, and then one season you're knocking out that lower bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know how many seats that are there that stay, how much demolition needs to take place, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a lot of work, but I guess they'll space it out.
The best thing about it is it keeps the team in New Orleans long term.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
This was inevitable, but it's good to see like they actually have plans for it and what it's supposed to look like. Maybe it'll be better. Like, it's just the initial like drawings, right?
So yeah, exactly.
So we'll see.
We don't even know if it's the final stuff yet.
Yeah. So
it's from 6 months ago, 8 months ago.
Yeah. So it's a good foundation. Maybe you could add on to that.
It's a Monday afternoon, 82 degrees and sunny. Best quality, best price, best selection. Got to be talking about Rouse's. Before you go in your Rouse's, go on your phone. If you're in the parking lot, go to rouses.com. The upper right-hand corner, their daily specials, their newspaper ads. Probably a lot of stuff that you regularly buy at Rouse's. Already a great price because they're volume buying over 75 stores. But they put a lot of this stuff on sale, even lower prices. Stock up. Rouse's Markets taste like home. Yeah, they've been at it over 65 years, over 75 Rouse's. About 1/3 of all Rouse's are in Metro New Orleans. New Orleans grocery store, Rouse's Markets. Who doesn't like new? New arena, redoing the old arena, making it new-ish, more modern. That looks inevitable. Expansion of Louis Armstrong International. The upgrades for the Smoothie King Center released by the Times-Picayune after a public records request. This wasn't by the team. This wasn't an official announcement of the LSED that has to approve any, upgrades to the arena, how it's being paid for. I'm assuming it's going to be some money from Gail Benson, some money from the city and state, some money possibly from somewhere else. This is not official. The team's not rubber stamping this. This wasn't an announcement by the team. It's like Mario Brothers, aka Latinx, said, good journalism by the Times-Picayune. The expansion of the Louis Armstrong International Airport, this is more official. They had a press conference, a media conference on Friday. The proposal is in the FAA's hands. They think within weeks, months at worst, it will be approved. And it's pretty aggressive expansion of the existing Louis Armstrong International Airport. I mean, this terminal is what, a decade old? If you go into the new Louis Armstrong International today, there are 3 concourses. A, going to your right, that would be going west. And then you've got 2 that jut out towards the river, B and C. Similar to A going out to the west, there's room for a D concourse going out to the east. So that looks like the next build out, which essentially you've got the new terminal building with 3 concourses, A, B, and C, and room for 1 more concourse, concourse D going east, and that pretty much completes that terminal building. So that's what they're going to do first, build out Concourse D, adding 7 more gates. So the airport will go from the existing 35 gates to 42. And then the next plan, before 2031, like in the next 5 years, build a new terminal, this time going west. There's a big tarmac to the right of the existing terminal where they'll build a new terminal with about 8 gates to begin with and room for another concourse. So what you're looking at over the next 20 years, more gates with this concourse D, basically completing the existing building, a new parking garage, a new terminal with a 5th concourse, and room for a 6th, and then even possibly going out to a 7th concourse and up to 65 total gates. But by adding the new terminal, they'll add 8 more gates by 2031, bringing the airport up to 50 total. And then they can add a couple of more concourses farther west and get it up to about 65 total gates, almost doubling the size of the existing airport. Expansion of Louis Armstrong International. We're going to get somebody on from the airport either tomorrow or Wednesday, probably Aaron Burns with communications, and find out the timeline, how it's being paid for, all of this good stuff. ICE agents being sent to Louis Armstrong International. I went yesterday, no, not to the airport, to Lebanon's Cafe with my brother and my mommy. My mom loves Lebanon's Cafe. She loves those lamb chops, the cauliflower, the baba ganoush, the hummus. My brother copied me, the chicken shawarma. He normally gets like a shish kebab combo, like chicken and beef or chicken and lamb. He's like, I'll get what Corey got. Chicken shawarma,
Dave
some
Miet
tabbouleh.
Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot. TM-AC.com, your cool spot.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Uptown, Carrollton, Riverbend, Holly Grove, Gerttown, Gentilly, Lakefront, West Bank, Lakeview. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Yeah, you right. Who doesn't like new stuff? New at Louis Armstrong International, new Smoothie King Center. The original Smoothie King Center, just getting some major upgrades potentially. That's not official yet. Louis Armstrong International, although not official, the city and the folks, the board, Diolio, the director, they've put into the FAA plans for expansion at Louis Armstrong International. No, this airport's just blowing up already and built with expansion in mind. And there's also maybe some demolition that's going to take place on the south side of the property at the old terminal. I think the original terminal building, that center terminal with the tall dome, the big glass window in the front, that's never getting torn down. That will never be torn down. They're going to try to figure out how to repurpose that. And I think the old Concourse D by the rental car and the new parking garage over in that direction, really by the rental car more than the parking garage, that new Concourse D, I say new, it was built maybe 15 years ago, 18 years ago at the cost of about $350 million. It's nicer than some airports' concourses today. So I don't think that will be torn down either. I think that'll be used for like private aircraft or future expansion, put all Southwest flights out of that, something like that. But the other part, I guess it would be concourses A and B. The eastern side of the old terminal, close to Airline Highway, I could see that stuff getting torn down. Monday afternoon edition of the program, 82 and sunny, just ridiculously nice weather, insanely mild and nice. Pretty much for the next week and a half, it's a rinse and repeat. Wake up to the low 60s, finish the day, low 80s. That's pretty much it, rinse and repeat. Start off around 62, 63, finish the day around 82, 83. Sunny, nice. That's for like the next week to 10 days. I'm Margaret Orr. Oh, boy. 766-9480 is how you dial us up on this Monday afternoon. I'm not really Margaret Orr, Mario. I'm Bob Breck.
Legends.
I'm Nash Roberts. I'm Al Duckworth. Before your time, Mario. Nash Roberts and Al Duckworth.
Yeah, you had to tell me who those guys were. I remember Bob Breck from the Hornets.
Don
games.
Westbrook.
Don't know who that is.
Frank Davis? You have no idea who Frank Davis is?
Nope.
Naturally Nolans, Frank Davis?
No.
No.
I do not know who Frank Davis is. Sounds cool. Sounds like a cool guy.
He's a very nice guy. Was a very nice guy. Very cool guy. Beloved. The I-10 bridge from New Orleans east to Slidell, named after him, is utterly ridiculous. But no, beloved, a great person. Yeah, it's just silly. The Naturally Nolans Frank Davis Bridge. You can thank A.G. Crow, a joker of a politician out of Slidell, who has cost the North Shore, I would think, tens of millions of dollars at this point, might be north of $100 million, literally. About 6, 7, 8 years ago, there was talk of an IG's office for the North Shore for St. Tammany Parish, an office of Inspector General, basically a CPA, an accountant type that overlooks public money being spent and making sure it's being spent efficiently and effectively, not being wasted, and of course not being stolen, no corruption. So there's really no downside to this. Anywhere there is an office that's run right, we have an example on the South Shore, 2 examples. The New Orleans office, run right with a pit bull at the controls, and then the Jefferson Parish office, maybe a decent IG in Chatelaine, but a politically run office, the Jefferson Parish Council, the parish president, they control the IG's office in Jefferson. So it's political. It's very limited. It doesn't have autonomy. The New Orleans office, Bob Sarasoli, another pit bull, he set that office up right 20 years ago. Grounded, autonomy. The city council, the mayor, they can't cut the budget. It's part of the overall city budget, a percentage of the city budget. They can't cut it. They can't mess with its investigative powers. Very apolitical. Now, you get some loser in like do-nothing Derry Harper, the previous guy running it. It was a disaster. It was a waste. But now it's back to a Bob Sarasoli type in Ed Michel, who's a relentless pit bull and running that IG's office in New Orleans the way it's supposed to be run. Kim Chatelain's got one arm tied behind her back, handcuffed, limited. No, St. Tammany desperately needs an IG's office, one of the most affluent parishes. A lot of money, taxpayer money being spent, one of the fastest growing parishes in the state. A lot of expansion, public projects. You want them scrutinized. You want an IG simply scrutinizing, making sure that, hey, guys, you're getting this concrete out of here. If you get it from here and do it this way, you'd save 10%, and it's a much more effective way. Just trying to stop y'all from wasting money. And then also, these investigations and audits will sometimes lead to corruption, and then they let the powers that be know about that. So I would think in the last 7-8 years, however long ago that was, where A.G. Crow basically nixed the idea of a IG's office for St. Tammany, the office pays for itself, and then it's just savings every year. I mean, Ed Michel, I think it's about a $3.5 million budget. He saved that years ago on something that was reoccurring every year. So the office is paid for indefinitely. And then every year it's tens of millions of dollars saved. Tens of millions. St. Tammany would be maybe a little bit smaller scale, but not much. A, the office would pay for itself. B, tens of millions, maybe by this time, 7, 8, 9 years later, could be north of 100 million in savings. No, the most affluent parish, lots of public money being spent. You want it scrutinized. I don't know how anyone in St. Tammany would be against an office of inspector general. If it ever pops up on the ballot, vote for it. Vote for it to be set up like New Orleans, believe it or not. The New Orleans office is set up right. If you get an office and it's set up like Metairie, it's almost a waste of time. It's almost a waste of time. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Audubon gutters on my house. Audubon gutters on your home or business. Get the leaf guard system like I did. The only one-piece, seamless, debris-shedding gutter on the market. It's funny, you can watch these national TV commercials with so-called competitors, add-on screens or covers. On the commercial, you can see leaves piling up on the roof by the cover, on top of the cover. Not with the leaf guard system. You'll literally never, ever have to clean your gutters, the roof, ever again. Drew and his crew at Audubon Gutters, they've been at it 35 years. And all they do are gutters. So if you need gutters for your home or business, audubongutters.com. Southern Living, the South's best beaches. This is kind of weak in the sense that it's a lot of like islands, barrier island chains off of South Carolina and Georgia. You have to like go find the beach. The majority of the area is not beach. Anyway, Panama City came in at 20th. Ocean Springs was 19th. Destin 3. Gulf Shores, Orange Beach was 2. Golden Isle, Georgia was number 1. One of the places where you have to go find the beach. More of like a marsh, lush, barrier island type thing. Anyway, I like Ocean Springs on the list. Ocean Springs is pretty nice. That up on the bluff, the beach is down below. What is it? Washington Street with all the cafes and art galleries and culture. And Ocean Springs, it's funny. Like New Orleans to Pass Christian, Mississippi is like 55 minutes. From Pass Christian, like if you're already there to Ocean Springs, could take you like 35, 40 minutes if you're already in Pass Christian. But staying on the interstate, because to go to Pass Christian, you exit at exit 2, essentially going like about 20 miles on, State Road. So 55 minutes New Orleans to Pass Christian. New Orleans to Ocean Springs, about an hour and 15 minutes. It's not very long at all. And unlike Pass Christian, which is like 15, 20 miles off I-10, Ocean Springs is about 2 miles off of I-10. I-10 kind of dips way down towards Ocean Springs. I think it's exit 50 off the I-10 is Ocean Springs. So, I mean, you're doing 70 on the interstate. 50 miles is going to take you, about 40-something minutes? And then however long it takes you New Orleans to the state line, what's that, about 30 minutes? So in about an hour and 15 minutes or so, you're in Ocean Springs. It might be 20 more minutes of driving than if you're going to Pass Christian. And again, if you're already in Pass Christian and you're taking the, Gulf Road, it's going to take a little while. But anyway, Ocean Springs, 19th on the list. Lots of culture. Destin, number 3. I guess Destin, about 4.5 hours by car. 4.5. Gulf Shores, Alabama, Orange Beach, about 3 hours and 15 minutes? They're number 2 on the list, ahead of Destin. It's different things. It's not just, when you're talking just white sand, beautiful water, it's hard to beat that 30A, Sand, Destin area. It's hard to beat that. Miramar Beach, 30A, that Highway 30A, all those beaches. There's a reason that the sand is so white in Destin. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Do you know the answer? 766-9480. Why is the sand so sugary white in Destin? 766-9480. Holla.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. Because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters.
And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
Native son, great New Orleanian. No, that's me.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
New Orleans native son. No, that's me. That's me, lady. Hey, Dale and Don at Young's Dry Cleaning. They've been taking care of you for generations. Young's has been around since 1940. 86 years of excellence. Tired of your dry cleaner? Want to experience the best? Young'sDryCleaning.com. Young'sDryCleaning.com. ICE agents being sent to Louis Armstrong International. I don't know if it's percentage of TSA workers or sheer numbers, but New Orleans is number one with the most TSA agents not showing up for work. Louis Armstrong International Airport, like number one. ICE agents being sent to Louis Armstrong International Airport. We'll see how this is going to go. Normally, I don't think that would be that big of a problem, but like half of ICE are new agents. And we've even seen seasoned veterans shoot and kill U.S. citizens during their crackdown, supposed crackdown. Hey, speaking of Louis Armstrong International, the airport just really getting a lot of praise, like second tier, like second size, not major, but the next tier, we're like, Louis Armstrong's like number one 3 years in a row. Expansion looks like it's going to happen sooner than later for Louis Armstrong International. Over the next 20 years, we could see up to 7 concourses. We have 3 right now. Could see up to 7. And right now, 35 gates, maybe eventually within 20 years, up to 65 gates. Right away, it looks like Concourse D will be built. If you look at the original terminal building, it has 3 concourses right now, A, B, and C. A runs due west, and B and C jut out towards the infield of the airport, towards the river, south. D would be the opposite of A, where A goes out to the west, D would go out to the east. It is yet to be built. So essentially, the existing terminal has 3 prongs jutting out from it, 3 concourses. There'll soon be a 4th, Concourse D, adding, I believe, 7 gates. Presently, 35 gates at Louis Armstrong International. As Concourse D is built out, which completes the terminal building. The existing terminal would be done with 4 concourses and a total of 42 gates. But then right after that, a second terminal would be built, smaller than the existing terminal, but still a terminal building. West of the existing terminal in like a tarmac area. And they'll add 8 more gates to that new terminal building. And then that new terminal building could have another concourse, a 6th concourse. So they'll build a new terminal that'll have room for 2 concourses. And then eventually a 3rd jutting out from the side of it going farther west. So we could eventually see the airport with 3 concourses presently, expanding to a 4th under the existing terminal building, then a 2nd terminal being built west of the existing terminal, and potentially 3 more concourses coming out of that building for a total of 7 and maybe 65 gates, almost doubling the size of the President Airport at 35 gates. First things first, Concourse D, 7 more gates. Then the second terminal building coming. They'd like to get Concourse D built and a second terminal building done by 2031. I'm guessing before Super Bowl 2031 in New Orleans. Expansion to Louis Armstrong, the Omni Hotel by the Convention Center, another 1,000+ rooms. Trying to get the city modernized and up to date for that 2031 Super Bowl. Upgrades for the Smoothie King Center, not released by the Pelicans or the LSED, the Superdome Expedition District, not released by the city, not released by the NBA, released by the Times-Picayune after a public records request. The Pelicans hired an architectural firm probably over a year ago. Their findings were released last summer, I believe, from like June or July of last year. The Times-Picayune, good journalistic job, found out about it, requested public records, and got the like 82-page proposal. What the Pelicans would like to do to the Smoothie King Center to get it up to speed 2026 or beyond and make the Pelicans more competitive naturally versus the rest of the NBA. The number one problem with the Smoothie King Center, not enough premium lower bowl seats. The lower bowl down by the court, there's roughly 7,100. This new proposal would increase that number by like 2,200. They'd go from like 7,100 to like 9,300 in the lower bowl. And the upper deck, the top, basically would remain unchanged. You might lose maybe 500 seats up there. So the total arena would go from somewhere around 18,000 to over 19,500 in capacity. Mario, you saw the upgrades potentially for the Smoothie King Center. What did you think?
I like it. I'm more like the outside of it. I think aesthetically, it's just gonna look so much better.
No, it will look better.
Like walking up to the arena. What the Smoothie King Center really has going for it is the location. Like it's still in the heart of New Orleans, and I think like post game and pre game, it's gonna create for a lot better environment. I mean, what we have now, it looks exactly like it did in like 2009. You know, just any kind of change to make it aesthetically look better, I think is going to really go a long way.
No, it looks like they're going to build out some wings. So you'll have VIP clubs and stuff off the existing building. That street behind the arena, I think, is going to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
And the side street in between the arena and the New Orleans Center parking garage will go bye-bye, and it'll become like Pelicans Plaza.
For sure.
Where you can kind of like tailgating and the like before games.
Yeah, and these days I'm either media or I'm in the cheap seats in the 300s. But like I don't know if you saw all like the renovation that they're gonna do for the suites and for some of those areas. They're gonna make it like New Orleans themed. Like,
no, I thought that was beautiful. That was a great
district,
idea.
Like suites.
Wasn't that cool as hell?
Yeah, that
like
was
architectural, nuances from like the Garden District, the French Quarter, uptown,
and you'll have a good view of downtown New Orleans. Like you can see
they'll bust out some wall and put glass in,
exactly,
kind of like they did at the Dome.
So I won't pretend I'll spend much time there, but for the people that do, it's
going to be much more aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
the club levels and all that, but a much more inviting environment.
It'll just look more like an NBA arena, maybe not like very, very different than what it does now, but definitely much closer like to being up to par. Like,
and then the scoreboard will get redone and things of that, audio, all that.
Yeah,
all kind of behind the scenes stuff.
They talk a lot about the sound system. I honestly think it sounds fine. Like,
I guess it's just more dated than anything else.
Yeah.
There are new tricks, whistles, buses, whatever.
And the article said it was the same as the 90s, so I guess they'll improve that also.
But it's the 2,200 lower bowl seats that, first off, every seat will go up in the lower bowl, and then they've got 2,200 more.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be able to sell those, much more money, millions of dollars brought in. So it'll be interesting to see how much will the Pels put up. We talked about this with expansion of Las Vegas and Seattle. There could be $400 million coming to Gail Benson, like a check from the NBA for $400 million. I think this Smoothie King Center redo, I'm guessing, Mario Brothers. So I posted on Twitter, just my guess from just looking at it and whatever knowledge I have of construction and costs, maybe 175 to 250 million. That's where I see this. So Gail Benson maybe puts up 100 mil, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. Either way, it's like a fraction of what it would be to build a new
Oh,
stadium.
it'd be $1 billion to build a new state-of-the-art arena.
Yeah, I see a lot of people kind of griping about that, but that's just not realistic at this point in time.
And then I think, like gutting the entire interior and keeping the exterior and the roof of the Smoothie King Center doesn't make sense because you'd be spending $500-600 million to redo the entire inside. The upper deck, from what I could tell looking at those plans, the upper deck essentially remains unchanged.
Yes.
It's concourses and adding 2,200 seats to the lower bowl.
100%. Similar to the Superdome when they renovated it, they didn't mess with the upper, like the terrace level that much.
Yep.
Compared to everywhere below.
No, it's below the club, the old loge. That's where you're making the moolah.
Yep.
The old premium seats. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Total Maintenance, air conditioning, and heating experts. Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys come when you need them. That means right now. If you need air conditioning or heat help, you got home and the AC, the heat's not working right. Total Maintenance is there for you in New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, River Parishes, North Shore, in Metro Baton Rouge. They got you covered. If you need AC or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. tm-ac.com. That's all you need to know. tm-ac.com. That's Total Maintenance online, coming to help you. A Monday afternoon edition of the program. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls, fielding your phone calls. 766-9480. 766-9480. Everybody likes new stuff. Now, I was enjoying over the weekend. It was like 82 pages, what they're doing to the Smoothie King Center. And then looking at the airport, I'm counting like up to 7 concourses and 65 gates potentially. A second terminal, building out the existing terminal, adding another concourse to finalize the existing terminal's footprint. Pretty cool. Could go from 35 gates to 65 in the next 15 or 20 years. Looks like we're going to go from 35 gates to 50 in the next 5 years, maybe before the 2031 Super Bowl. We'll talk about that and more next. Corey Johnson with you. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Phone lines are open. We never screen calls. We don't cut you off when we disagree. 766-9480. Summer is upon us. We're just a few days into spring. We've jettisoned winter. Maybe you need a great pair of sunglasses. Don't go spend hundreds of dollars at the mall or some chain store online and you don't know what they look like on you. Go to Art and Eyes on Magazine and you'll be glad you did. They literally have about 4,000 frames to choose from. Like 4,000. Eyewear that's as unique as you. This is a good thing about Art and Eyes. Name brands you've never heard of, and you'll be glad when you get there. When you touch, feel, put on the high-quality eyewear at Art and Eyes, you'll see what makes them special. Art and Eyes on Magazine, between Napoleon and Louisiana on the riverside of Magazine. Google them. Art and Eyes on Magazine.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
At Lamarck Lincoln, ownership isn't complicated. It's effortless. With a one-on-one brand specialist every step of the way, we strive to ensure every guest experience is nothing less than elevated. You'll understand why it's more than ownership. It's membership. Visit Lamarck Lincoln at Williams and I-10 in Kenner. Give us a call at 504-238-4800. That's 504-238-4800. Or visit us online at lamarcklincoln.com.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and
you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog.
Oh boy, keep it clean. The FCC, they bees a listening. 766-9480 is how you dial us up on this Monday afternoon. 766-9480. Expansion at Louis Armstrong International Airport. It looks like they're going to add Concourse D to the existing terminal, adding about 7 more gates, presently 35 gates. This will get Louis Armstrong International up to 42 gates. And then possibly before 2031, building a new terminal building west of the existing building that has the potential to add 3 new concourses and potentially 25 more gates, getting the airport up to 65 gates, almost doubling its size from its present 35 gates. First things first, Concourse D off the existing terminal building that's like a decade old, not even, adding 7 more gates and finishing out that existing terminal at 42 total gates. Then potentially building a second terminal building west of the existing one and adding 8 more gates with 1 concourse, and then potentially a 6th and even 7th concourse onto that second terminal. Expansion at Louis Armstrong International. The city's trying to get this done by 2031, along with that Omni Hotel, so New Orleans can host the 2031 Super Bowl. I love new stuff. I love the new Louis Armstrong International Terminal right now, making it even bigger and better. Nice. Nice. Upgrades for the Smoothie King Center, released by the Times-Picayune after a public records request. This study, this architectural study for upgrades to the Smoothie King Center, the Pelicans obviously paid for this probably over a year ago. It was released it was finalized last summer. The Times-Picayune, good journalism, found out about it and did a public records request and got the plans because it's public records. And it's nothing finalized. This was not announced by the Pelicans. This wasn't announced by the NBA. Wasn't announced by the LSED, the Louisiana Superdome Expedition District. It wasn't announced by anybody except the Times-Picayune getting the public records of the Pelicans' plans with an architectural firm to upgrade the Smoothie King Center. The biggest part of it, and it's about putting money in Gail Benson and the Pelicans owners' pockets. That's what it's about. There's 30 other NBA teams, about to be 2 more added. The biggest problem with the Smoothie King Center compared to other NBA arenas, not enough lower bowl seating, the lowest level of seating down by the court. Not enough of that, about 7,100 seats. This new plan adds about 2,200 seats to the lower bowl, going from a little over 7,000 to about 9,300. That's the key. Some VIP lounges, sideline clubs, bunker suites, much better outside appearance, eliminating the street that goes around the arena, a Pelicans Plaza for pregame and postgame partying and the like, concerts, that kind of thing. I'm guessing somewhere in the 175 to 250, $275 million price range, something like that. But none of this has been released because this isn't official from the Pelicans or the NBA or the LSED. This is the Times-Picayune simply doing a public records request and getting the plans from the architectural firm that the Pelicans paid for upgrades, redoing the Smoothie King Center. Monday afternoon edition of the program, Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Katie's tonight for dinner. Yeah, you right. Outside on the patio, you bet. I had Scott Craig on the program Friday. They had 7 different fresh fish from the Gulf, 7 at Katie's. Outside of GW Finn's, is there a restaurant in the city that serves 7 different fresh Gulf fish? 7. That's Katie's. Great for Lent. An expansive menu. Start with some onion rings. They're killer. As New Orleans as it gets, why aren't you at Katie's right now, winding down the workday on a Monday? The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. Get there tonight. Lots of great Lenten specials. Dine on the patio. Enjoy this great weather. It's perfect. Katie's in Mid-City. I'd say afterwards, maybe, if you don't get one of the desserts at Katie's, head to Angelo Bricato's, but they're closed on Monday. The Italian, Sicilian ice cream candy store right there on Carrollton. Katie's is about 4 blocks behind that. Monday afternoon edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Gorgeous weather outside. And what you see is what you're going to get for like the next week and a half, what we've been having. I mean, this is incredible. It really is. This is the kind of weather you want to get outside and enjoy it. Plus, I've been saying this for the last 2 weeks with that daylight savings time. I mean, it's not even 5 o'clock right now. We're closing in on 5 p.m. You got a good 2 hours and 20 minutes of daylight left. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Go knock out 9 holes of golf, a little twilight round. Go knock out a set of tennis. Dig that hole, plant that tree. Take the dog for a walk. Have the dog take you for a walk. Get outside, enjoy this weather. Drop some coals, do some grilling tonight. You heading home from work, pick up what you're going to throw down on the grill. You could get the grill, you could get the charcoal, the lighter fluid, everything you need. Lump charcoal for your big green egg type ceramic grill. Get all that good stuff at Rouse's. And then the goodies to throw down on the grill. Everything you need at Rouse's, like crawfish live by the sack. Little crawfish boil tonight. Thank you, Rouse's. I'd like to eat some hot from the pot crawfish, Corey, but don't feel like boiling them myself. Rouse's, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., hot from the pot throughout the day. You want crawfish? Live by the sack? Rouse's Markets. You want hot from the pot crawfish? No work except peeling and eating and enjoying. Rouse's Markets, it's crawfish season. No one sells more boiled crawfish in the world than Rouse's. No one sells more crawfish live by the sack than your Rouse's Markets. Monday, beautiful, gorgeous Monday. Now that's a sweet sound. Oh boy, there he is. What's up, Blue Boy? The 5 o'clock powwow is next. I hear you, buddy. You would like me to grab a slab, a steak at Rouse's, grill it for you tonight for dinner? You don't want to eat the kibble. You want a steak. Wow, I bet you do, buddy. 5 o'clock powwow, just like Blue Boy said, coming your way next.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
At Lamarck Lincoln, ownership isn't complicated. It's effortless. With a one-on-one brand specialist every step of the way, we strive to ensure every guest experience is nothing less than elevated. You'll understand why it's more than ownership. It's membership. Visit Lamarck Lincoln at Williams and I-10 in Kenner. Give us a call at 504-238-4800. That's 504-238-4800. Or visit us online at lamarcklincoln.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters.
And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The steak knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Yeah, you're right. It is indeed New Orleans, Louisiana. Drew Brees is correct again. It seems to always be right, that Drew Brees, except maybe with small sliders. I think small sliders have got to go under. That's just my prediction. Just don't seem to never be doing any business. I have no interest one way or the other. I'd like to see them succeed. I don't want to see people lose their jobs. Like those orange buildings, those containers are going to be painted black. It's going to be Johnny's Daiquiri shop. I swear, the one on Clearview and Vets, never anybody there. And the one on Clearview and Elmwood, empty all the time. But I have to admit, I've never had a small slider in my life. I don't really have a desire to go get one. That's not helping, I guess. Mario, you're not a big small slider eater. You like them, though, you said.
Yeah, I used to be. Back in the day when I first moved to Baton Rouge, like mid-20s, there was one in my apartment, and I ate it a lot. But these days, it kind of hits me heavier. It's just a lot, man.
What meaning?
Like the grease.
Oh, really? It's greasy?
Yeah, it's on Hawaiian rolls. It's,
So buttery and
yeah, which is delicious, but just gonna need a nap afterwards.
Yeah, nappy.
But I like smalls. You're right. I still like smalls. Like if somebody's offering it to me, I will eat it.
If they're offering it.
Yeah, I might just need a nap. I won't be very productive after.
Is there one in Kenner?
No. I think the closest one to us is the Clearview one.
Clearview and Vets?
Yeah.
No, I mean, there was supposed to be expansion like all over. I just don't see that happening. And I know of one person at least that was buying into it and like had the rights to like a half dozen and kind of reneged on the deal. Was like, I'm out. I can bail. Great. I'm bailing.
Yeah.
Keep my deposit.
They seem to have lost some momentum. At a time, they were very hot. Like
and when they first opened, it was slammed.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm sure they're not going bankrupt or anything, but definitely not as much momentum.
No, it doesn't seem to be, unless it's growing elsewhere.
Yeah.
College campuses or something like that.
I think the one by LSU probably still does pretty well, but here in New Orleans, it just hasn't caught on.
Where is it by LSU? On Highland Road?
It's on Nicholson. There's one on Nicholson, right by Tigerland.
Oh, right there.
Like, before you get to Lee, I guess. Yeah.
Gotcha. Literally on Nicholson.
Yeah, on Nicholson, right there across the street from Tigerland.
Yep.
Get the drunk kids, I guess.
Yep. That's not Lee. That's what is the road into Tigerland? Not Lee. Lee's the next
like
one.
Jennifer Jean.
Jennifer Jean. Yeah. There you go. Nice. It is. Jennifer Jean off of what? Burbank?
Yes.
Burbank to Highland Road.
Yep. Been down that street once or twice.
Me too. Good one. Good call there, the Jennifer Jean.
Jennifer Jean. Yeah. I remember being an 18-year-old trying to get to the club. Yeah, that's the street.
Yep. Fred's is still doing well.
Yeah, Fred's is good, man.
Fred's has been there like 40 years, man.
Fred's is like a nationwide brand now. Like you see people at the College World Series with like the moose things with the antlers.
And it's like from following Fred's?
Yeah, it's for Fred's. Yeah.
Wow.
People like Fred's. People from out of town go to Fred's,
No, I went there a lot. And I think you still have to be 20 to get in. Like it wasn't 18.
Yeah.
Every other bar is 18.
That's kind of, but yeah,
made
exactly.
it a different vibe a little bit.
For that reason, grown-ups, people in their 40s and 50s love to go to Baton Rouge and go there.
Yep.
Yep. Man, it's been a minute since I've been out there. I'd probably feel so old.
No, when I was there as a cow pasture, it's a golf course now, right?
Yes, it's a golf course. Looks like a nice one.
Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. That other voice is Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X, at the controls, fielding your phone calls too. Plus, he's our in-house sports expert. 766-9480 is how you dial up the program. If you're listening on the radio, checking us out on television all the way till 6 o'clock on TV now, or on social media, maybe checking us out on X, aka Twitter, or YouTube. Phone number remains the same. Dial us up. Love to hear from you. 766-9480. 766-9480. Speaking of 80, 82 degrees and sunny. It's a rinse and repeat for like the next week to 10 days. Low 60s to start every day. Low 80s to end every day. Pretty damn nice. Waking up and it's like 62, 63, 64. Just cool and pleasant. And then you get this in the afternoon, 82 degrees and sunny and low humidity. I swear, we moved to San Diego or something. Outstanding weather. Get outside, enjoy it. Dine outside tonight if you can. ICE agents being sent to Louis Armstrong International Airport. They had a story, a national story, New Orleans #1 with TSA agents missing work. #1 in America. Now, I don't know if that's percentage of workers or sheer numbers, but it was a national headline. And ICE agents being sent to about 15 airports nationwide. All of them are major airports. And then Louis Armstrong International's in the number. Speaking of Louis Armstrong International, Friday afternoon, officials from the airport announced very aggressive expansion plans for the airport. They've already filed the paperwork. They've sent it into the FAA. They say the response from the FAA giving approval could come within a few weeks, at worst, a few months. The plan is over like 2 decades, but there's some stuff that's going to happen like in the next 5 years or so for the 2031 Super Bowl. Presently, Louis Armstrong Airport, less than 10 years old, the new terminal, has 35 gates over 3 concourses, A, B, and C. A is the one that juts out to the west. B and C go south towards the river. And D has yet to be built yet. So the existing terminal building has 3 concourses with room for 4. Concourse D, which would go directly east off of the new terminal, kind of opposite of D. Excuse me, opposite of A. A goes due west. B and C jut out towards the river. D would go due east. And that would complete the existing terminal as far as expansion and gates. The existing terminal presently has 35 gates. By building out Concourse D towards the east, that would add 7 more gates, bringing the total number up to 42. But then they're talking about building a brand new terminal building west of the existing terminal, west of Concourse A. And that new terminal building would immediately get 1 additional concourse, 8 more gates, totaling 50. That might be done by 2031. These 7 more gates in Concourse D, bringing the gate total from 35 to 42, will definitely get done by 2031. But there's talk of a new terminal being built and at least 8 more gates added to that new terminal, bringing the total number to 50. And the new terminal has room for 2 more concourses. Right now, the existing airport has 3 concourses. These plans have the airport having potentially 7 concourses over another terminal and a total of 65 gates, almost doubling the size of the airport right now at 35 gates. Anyway, good to see. Good to see that Louis Armstrong continues to be highly rated. People like the airport experience there. And now we're talking about serious expansion, all in the next 5 years, guaranteeing that New Orleans could host that 2031 Super Bowl. Airport expansion, the Omni Hotel, 1,000+ rooms right by the convention center. A few other hotels being built few hundred rooms here, a few hundred rooms there. So 1,500, 1,800 new hotel rooms, expansion to Louis Armstrong International. These are things to help lure in the 2031 Super Bowl. Now, upgrades for the Smoothie King Center were released over the weekend as well, but by the Times-Picayune via public records request, not by the Pelicans, not by the NBA, not by the LSED, the Louisiana Superdome Expedition District. That's the state agency. Those folks would have to approve any upgrades to the Smoothie King Center estate building. But the Pelicans apparently, maybe a year ago, hired an architectural firm that came up with their plans, a couple of different plans for the Smoothie King Center. The Pelicans got these in the summer of last year, like 6-8 months ago. Good journalism by the Times-Picayune finding out about it, requesting a public records. The Pelicans gave them the plans, and the Times-Picayune broke the story of a potential redo of the Smoothie King Center. Boy, I redid my backyard. LGD Lawn and Landscapes helped. They installed a chipping and putting green in my backyard. I'm in radio and television, so I'm telling you it's affordable. LGD Lawn and Landscapes can add a chipping and putting green to your backyard, or just install artificial or synthetic turf in your backyard. Zero maintenance. No more tracking in dirt and grass, the dog, all that. For a free estimate, go online, NOLALGD.com. NOLALGD.com. Yeah, get an absolutely free estimate of installation of artificial turf, synthetic turf, even a chipping and putting green in your backyard. And also on the website, check out all the installations all over the metro area. NOLALGD.com. NOLALGD.com. Go to the website right now.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
Cause I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The steak knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Following the facts.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
Corey Johnson.
Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock power hour, Monday edition of the program. 82 and sunny. We got 2 more hours of daylight. It's beautiful outside. Blue sky, sunny. Not cool, but not hot. 82, low humidity, feels just fine. You won't be perspiring unless you exert yourself. I don't think walking the dog or riding in a golf cart counts for exerting oneself, huh? ICE agents being sent to Louis Armstrong International Airport to help with the lack of TSA agents. I saw a national story. New Orleans is number 1 in the country. I don't know if it was sheer numbers or percentage of workers, but number 1 in TSA agents missing work. About 15 airports, a dozen to 15 airports getting TSA replacement agents with ICE agents. All of them are major airports. Like on that list, I would think if it's 15 on the list, 14 of them are top 14 airports. And then there's Louis Armstrong, kind of this outlier. We obviously are having some problem with the TSA at Louis Armstrong and insane waits. I mean, it's a lot of airports around the country. Hours and hours, people missing flights. A lot of disruption. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Speaking of Louis Armstrong International, expansion of the airport over the next 20 years, more gates, Concourse D to start. A new parking garage, potentially a new terminal with a 5th total concourse with room for a 6th and even a 7th concourse. Presently 35 gates, 7 more coming with Concourse D. That would be 42 total gates, finalizing the existing terminal. Then they would grow west, a new terminal by 2031, 8 more gates, 50 total. And then room for 2 more concourses on the new terminal, maybe 65 gates total. Louis Armstrong International, that's Mitch Landrieu's legacy as mayor. Louis Armstrong International. He can definitely hook his wag into that. I mean, Mitch Landrieu, but who's even bigger? The old aviation director, Roger Ogden, Doug Thornton, and T. Martin. T. Martin from Commanders, Doug Thornton from the Dome and the Arena. Roger Ogden, who gave all his art to the Southern Museum of Art, of Modern Art, created that museum with his artwork, his personal artwork, his personal collection. Those 4, the old director, Doug Thornton, Roger Ogden, and T. Martin, they're the biggest movers of getting the terminal built. They deserve a lot of the credit. Now, there was a lot of new to check out over the weekend. Now, the airport thing, it's about to become official. This was an announcement from, MSY, from Louis Armstrong International officials, the board, the president. They've sent the application, their proposal, to the FAA in D.C. They expect approval within a few weeks, as quickly as a few weeks, at worst, a few months. So that's official. Upgrades for the Smoothie King Center released by the Times-Picayune after a public records request. Apparently the Pelicans, probably over a year ago, hired an architectural firm and said, how can we redo this arena, make it more of a fan-friendly experience, carry the team into the future, and most importantly, increase lower bowl seating. Apparently, this proposal was finalized and given to the Pelicans last summer, like in June or July. The Times-Picayune, good journalism, got wind of it, requested the plans because it's public records. They got the plans and released the story over the weekend. So the Pelicans don't have anything to say about this. The LSED, the folks that run the state agency that's in charge of the dome, they don't have anything to say with it. The folks, Doug Thornton, Mike Hoss, they don't have anything to say. None of this is official from the Pelicans. The team simply hired an architectural firm. They came up with renderings, changes to the arena, gave that to the Pelicans last summer. Times-Picayune got wind of it and released it. But none of this is official. None of it is from the Pelicans. The Pelicans aren't saying, hey, we agree with these plans and we're doing everything they're saying. The major thing I saw was an increase in lower bowl seating from around 2,200. From an increase of 2,200. From around 7,100 lower bowl seats to over 9,300. That seems to be the biggest problem with the Smoothie King Center by NBA standards. The Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, the home of the Pelicans, doesn't have enough premium lower bowl seats compared to just about every other NBA arena. The Smoothie King Center doesn't have enough lower bowl premium seats to sell. This architectural plan adds 2,200. They go from a little over 7,100 to over 9,300. They only reduced the upper deck, pretty much remains untouched, maybe 500 seats. So the Smoothie King Center goes from a sellout of like 18,100, something like that, 18,300, to now it'll be like 19,600. Mario, you were saying last hour that it goes from bottom third of capacity to top third with that?
Well, bottom half to top half, at least.
Bottom half to top half.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty significant difference.
Yeah, they're like, you look at attendance, there's only like 2 or 3 arenas, I think, that have less seats.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully they're able to fill that thing, win some more games. But yeah, it's definitely more up to par with normal capacity.
And then you have a few arenas that are like 20,000 seats.
Yeah, like Golden State and some of the newer ones.
Yep.
The Clippers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll get closer to that. We'll go from a little over 18 to more than 19 and a half.
Yeah, it's definitely going to look better inside the arena and outside with the plaza and everything they're adding. It's going to look a lot more modern.
Yep. It looked like kind of a gray color from the outside, silver gray, like the panels and the roof all matching. The roof and the bottom all the same color, essentially.
Yes, it'll look cool. Like, it'll look a lot cooler walking up to the stadium and leaving the games.
Lot of walls blown out. And instead of just those panels, there'll be glass.
Yes.
And natural light going into the arena.
Yeah, you'll be able to see through it. And for camera shots and stuff like that, it'll just look a lot.
CBD, whatever.
Yeah, it'll look a lot better.
And I think the road around the arena by the service entry, that'll stay, that part of the road. But the behind the arena and on the side, that'll go bye-bye. And the one on the side, I guess, is most significant in between the arena and the New Orleans Center parking garage. What's that going to be? Pelican Plaza for concerts and pre and post game festivities.
Yeah, it's going to look good, man. And it's still a really good location for the Smoothie King Center. So
that's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Exactly.
Someone posted something on Twitter about, I forgot where they were building. Was it Atlanta's building a new arena somewhere in the suburbs?
I think so.
Like the baseball stadiums, like north of the city now.
Yes.
Kind of in the affluent suburbs. Someone was like talking about the Esplanade site should be a basketball arena for the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nah.
No, people don't want, I mean, I remember talking about the dome being in New Orleans East. It's like you have all these highways and roads naturally converging on the CBD.
Mm-hmm.
So it just, all the hotel rooms, all of that.
It's perfect. It's why people love coming here. You definitely don't want to change that aspect of it.
I mean, I don't want to say people don't want to go to New Orleans East or Kenner to watch sports, but They do it in other cities, but we're not some massive, expansive growth city. We're same population as we were 45 years ago. So I don't think it's build a football stadium out in the East or build a basketball arena in Kenner.
Yeah, people want to party before the game and after the game and not have to drive. So don't lose that advantage.
There'll be pro hoops in Kenner, the G League team, right? Playing at the Pontchartrain Center, right?
Yeah, the squadron, the Kenner squadron.
Moving from Birmingham
Yes.
to Kenner and the Pontchartrain Center.
Yeah, so Kenner will get its basketball fix. We don't need to build
Pro basketball for Kenner.
Yeah, we don't need to build a new NBA arena
They're
there.
getting a pro team.
Yes.
No, and plus the city, I mean, Mario, during the break you said, he's like, dude, with our city struggling, can't go build $1 billion new arena.
Yeah, no. Fix the sewage and water
Yeah,
board and the roads
exactly.
and the potholes before we talk about that.
And I think the redo of the Smoothie King Center, it's sort of like the Dome. My guess, 175 to maybe 250 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Something a little more bearable.
I wouldn't say never on an NBA arena. Like maybe in the next 25 years, maybe my children can see it, but right now
Right.
it's just not feasible.
No, I think this thing gets redone. You get another 15, 20 years out of the Pels, and then it might be time for a new building.
Yes.
At that point.
God willing, team's still here. Everything's still going well. Yeah, at that time. But hopefully still downtown, maybe by the convention center or something like that. I don't know.
Now, Mario Brothers, you know the Dome is essentially like it's round, and for a Saints game, you know the field's in the center of the dome, and the sideline is as wide as the end zones are as wide as the sidelines.
Yeah.
There's just less seats. But you could literally flip the field the other way. If you pulled the plaza seats back, you could play 2 games at once, 2 NFL games at once in the Dome. My point is, if you, and this would be an insane renovation, you could blow out an entire side of the Dome, inside I'm talking about, the plaza level, the suites, and the terrace, where it'd become like a C. And then you build stands closer, you'd be shifting the field over towards one side. I mean, right now, I don't know if there's another NFL stadium where you sit farther away from the action than the Dome. You sit a far distance away from the action at the Dome because it's round, where these NFL stadiums are rectangular. They're built like around the field. So if you busted out a wall and moved it all over, you shifted the field towards one side, you'd free up a lot of space behind that new wall. You could literally build a 15, 20,000 seat arena in the Dome. You could have a football stadium and basketball arena all under the Dome roof, all within that footprint.
Yeah, people don't realize how big the Dome is.
It's insane.
1 million square feet plus. It's a giant space, man.
It is. The roof's 10 acres. The roof of the Dome is 10 acres. Need I say any more? Hey, should I tell you any more about Latrim? They're hiring dozens and dozens of jobs on the Latrim website. For a full listing of positions available, go there right now. Latrim.com. Latrim.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years. serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
This is a hell of a lot easier than when I delivered pizza in New Orleans. What the hell? We're all just blocking the street. We're all just blocking the street. Come on, I gotta deliver this pizza. We're all just blocking the street. Screw it. We won't stop blocking the street. Yeah, stop blocking the street.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Yeah, you right. Kiefer and Kiefer, a New Orleans law firm for decades, committed to their clients. If you are not injured or don't have a real claim, but you're trying to take advantage of the system, Kiefer and Kiefer is not for you. Real injuries, real claims, real lawyers. When you have a serious legal problem, you need a serious attorney, a real lawyer. KieferandKiefer.com. Go to their website, KieferandKiefer.com. Fletcher Mackel apparently hooked up with Robert Vosbean. He's the chairman of the LSED, the Louisiana Stadium and Expedition District, and talked about the potential renovations to the Smoothie King Center.
I think they're moving forward very well. The drawings came out really spectacular. We're very excited about them. We think it's going to be transformative for not only the Smoothie King Center, but Champion Square and that whole area around it. It's going to look beautiful. It's going to be more functional. It's going to give people a better experience in addition to, the product on the floor at night. So that's really great.
You all just completed a long-term deal with the Saints in the Bensons. Does that kind of carry into this? Can this be, we just did this, we know how to do it, let's get it done again?
I think that helps because you're working with some of the same people, but I think this is, I'm able to start from the beginning of this, whereas that when I came in the middle, and I think we're starting anew, and it's been a very collaborative approach. We're working together, sitting down together, looking at different types of different alternative designs, what we can do, look at what the price is going to be, what the funding sources could be, and just taking a more collaborative approach and working together from the start. And I think that gives it a little bit of an advantage.
Is this almost like a campus that you look at it like a whole, the Superdome is done, Champion Square, that this all kind of goes hand in hand? I know they're different projects, but that this is all in the same footprint and this enhances that entire area?
Absolutely. You're looking at the arena, you're looking at Champion Square, you're looking at the streets around it, you're looking at alternative sources of ingress and egress from the area as well. So traffic flows, parking, it's an entire campus, and the area part of this could entail taking out the old New Orleans Center, the Macy's. That's a possibility. There are many different possibilities, but yes, you're looking at everything around that area as part of the overall package.
And just promise this is a final question. Is the appetite for this, because obviously you are going to use, there'll be private money with the Bensons from the Pelicans, but public money as well. Is that something that the governor has the support for, that legislators understand the importance of New Orleans? Because I know sometimes people around the state think it's New Orleans, but New Orleans is sort of the lifeblood of the entire state.
Well, I don't want to speak for the governor or any senators or congressmen. It's something we're working hard to come together to the hard part about this, of course, is paying it. The vision is there. We're all excited about it. And that's where we're going to have to work and see what the sources of revenue can be. And I don't want to speak for anyone else and get too far ahead of myself on that one.
That's Robert Vosbean, he's the chairman, I should say, of the LSCD, the Louisiana Superdome Expedition District. Fletcher Mackel hooked up with him, and you can check that out at Fletcher WDSU on his Twitter. That little 2-3 minutes talking about the Smoothie King Center. The LSCD, that Vosbean, who you just heard, chairs, the Pelicans, the NBA, they didn't release the arena plans. The team hired architects that finished their work last summer. So the plans are about 6 to 8 months old. The Times-Picayune got wind of it and requested a public records request and got the plans and broke the story. So good journalistic work by the Times-Picayune and good journalistic work by Fletcher Mackel getting in front of the LSCD chairman and getting him to comment on it. So no, we could see upgrades to the Smoothie King Center. I'm guesstimating here a couple $100 million, maybe 175 on the low end and maybe 250 on the high end. What besides just an aesthetically pleasing, a much more aesthetically pleasing building, the key for the Pelicans, 2,200 lower bowl seats additions. So right now you got about 7,100 lower bowl seats. They would add about 2,200 to the 7,100, increasing the premium lower bowl seats from a little over 7,100 to a little over 9,300. One of the biggest problems with the Smoothie King Center that you hear around the NBA for the Pelicans, there aren't enough lower bowl seats, premium seats, Club A, B, and C, the premium lower bowl seats that go for the highest dollars. There's not enough of them naturally built into the Smoothie King Center, about 7,100. That was probably the number one goal for this architectural firm. How do we increase seating in the lower bowl? They apparently did it by 2,200 additional seats, bringing it up from 7,100 to 9,300 plus. And that's tens of millions of dollars for the Pelicans. So we'll see where the Smoothie King upgrades go, what the timeline is. There's talk of do it and the NBA awards New Orleans an all-star game. That's north of 100 million economic impact. Everybody likes new stuff. No, the renderings look nice. It's sort of a white or gray colored Smoothie King Center. The roof and the building kind of match. There's a lot more glass. There's some wings added on to the existing building. So it does look a lot nicer. But for the Pels, besides all that and the fan experience, it's those 2,200 additional premium lower bowl seats. No, everybody likes new. Expansion of Louis Armstrong International. We got two new things, like potentially the Smoothie King Center getting redone and potentially expansion at Louis Armstrong. It looks inevitable. They've already filed the paperwork with the FAA. They're expecting a reply, a thumbs up from the FAA within as little as a few weeks to, at worst, a few months. The first part of the plan is essentially completing the new terminal. Now, the new terminal building itself is complete. It has 3 concourses, A, B, and C. There's room for the original terminal building to have a concourse D. So that would be what they would first build, completing the new terminal building. Right now, there are 35 gates. Concourse D would add 7 more gates, bringing the total for that new terminal building to 42 gates and would finalize the existing terminal. Then there's talk after that, building a second terminal building west of the existing one, which right away they build the new terminal building. They would add 1 new concourse. That would be Concourse 5, with room for a 5th and 6th concourse. So going presently from 35 gates at the existing terminal building, finishing it out with Concourse D, adding 7 more gates, that would be 42. A new terminal with a 5th concourse would add 8 more gates, bringing the airport up to 50 gates. And the new terminal would have room for concourses 6 and 7, potentially bringing the airport up to 65 total gates. Presently, it's 35. It would nearly double in size. But first things first, building out Concourse D off of the existing terminal, going from 35 to 42 total gates, and finalizing the existing terminal. And then right after that, building a second terminal with another 8 gates, bringing it up to 50 total, and potentially a 6th and 7th concourse at the Terminal 2, bringing the airport up to 65 total gates. Wow. Louis Armstrong International, definitely paying for itself. A lot of growth, expansion, all good. Out in Canberra, 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Every day, this program on radio, on television, on social media, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. Acres and acres of vehicles, hundreds available. Home of the big store, Lamarck Ford. Home of Lamarck Lincoln. The pre-owned superstore, service, collision, repair, parts. No, they got you covered. Over 15 acres, over $50 million invested. Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park has been selling Ford vehicles for over half a century. Started at Bill Watson Ford in the 1970s. Lamarck Ford, over 45 years. Lamarck Lincoln, #1 in the state. If you need a commercial vehicle, Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood, they've been at it over 80 years. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Canberra and Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. 82 degrees, sunny, glorious afternoon. At least an hour and a half more of daylight. We rolled till about 7:20 with this daylight savings time gimmick, and the days continue to grow. For about the next week, week and a half, a rinse and repeat weather forecast from today and the last few days. What a glorious weekend we had. What a glorious day we're having today. Incredible weather week. We start out low 60s just about every morning, and we creep into the 70s and then top out around 80, 81, 82, like right now. Low 60s in the morning, low 80s in the afternoon. Pretty tough to beat. Looks like that's the gimmick for the next week, week and a half. I'll take it. Hey, when you need a fence or automatic gate for your home or business or any property, you got to see the fence man. For all your backyard residential or commercial fencing needs, automatic gate needs, you got to see the fence man. thefenceman-neworleans.com. Jimmy will take care of you. thefenceman-neworleans.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, you right. ICE agents being sent to Louis Armstrong International Airport. There was a national story that New Orleans is #1 in the country with TSA missing work. I don't know if it's sheer numbers or percentage of TSA workers, but we're #1 in the country. Somewhere between a dozen and 15 airports are getting ICE agents to supplement the TSA missing. New Orleans is one of those airports. ICE agents being sent to Louis Armstrong International. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. A Monday edition of the program. Get outside already. Take the show with you on the phone. Go take a walk. Walk the dog. Let the dog walk you. Get outside. Low 80s, sunny, gorgeous weather in Metro New Orleans right now. And it continues for the next week, week and a half. Get outside and enjoy it.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters.
And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot. TM-AC.com, your cool spot.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
Because I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog shit.
Broadcasting live from the Buddy Deliberto Total Maintenance Studios. You need AC or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge? Think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. Speaking of the weather, 82 and sunny outside. Get outside and enjoy it. Daylight for another hour and a half till like 7:20. Get outside. That's an order. How about crawfish tonight? You feel like boiling crawfish yourself? Rouse's has crawfish, live crawfish by the sack. You don't want to bother. You just want to enjoy. Rouse's has hot crawfish from the pot, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., like right now. Hot from the pot crawfish at Rouse's, ready to eat. Live crawfish by the sack. No one sells more boiled crawfish each and every crawfish season than Rouse's. No one sells more crawfish by the sack than Rouse's. It's crawfish season. Rouse's Markets has you covered. Tough to beat that. Pick up a sack or two, boil them yourself, get them hot from the pot, ready to eat. Rouse's recipe. Tough to beat crawfish season and Rouse's. No one does it better. No one does more of it. ICE agents being sent to Louis Armstrong International. New Orleans, #1 in the country with TSA missing work. Expansion at Louis Armstrong International announced over the weekend. Back on Friday, they had a press conference. Over the next 20 years, more gates, Concourse D being built out first, a new parking garage, a new terminal building with a 5th concourse, room for a 6th and 7th, building out west. Presently 35 gates, 7 more with Concourse D. That'll be 42 total, finalizing the existing terminal. And then they'll grow west, a new terminal by 2031, 8 more gates, 50 total by then, and room for 2 more concourses at the new terminal, increasing the total concourse count to 7 and maybe as many as 65 gates. Aaron Burns, communications director with Louis Armstrong International, will join us on Wednesday. Get all the details about what's going on out at Louis Armstrong International. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Upgrades for the Smoothie King Center released by the Times-Picayune after a public records request. I believe the architectural designs for an upgraded Smoothie King are from last summer, probably about a year ago. The Pelicans, the LSED, hired an architectural firm to expand the Smoothie King Center, to redo it, to modernize it. The #1 goal for the Pels to generate more money, more lower bowl seats. They'll go from 7,100 to over 9,300, an addition of 2,200 lower bowl seats, the premium seats where the team can generate top dollar. Almost nothing done to the upper deck, but lots done to the inside and exterior of the building. A Pelicans Plaza added, integrating it into the dome, busting out some walls and adding glass, natural light to the building, a much better look from the interstate, a much better look from the Superdome, and from this new Pelican patio off the side of the building, in between the existing arena and the New Orleans Center parking garage. They'll eliminate the street, make it seamlessly work. I'm guessing 175 to maybe $250 million in upgrades. That's my guess. 175 to maybe 250 million. No, the biggest key is lower bowl seating. That's probably the biggest knock on the Smoothie King Center by NBA standards. The Pelicans don't have enough premium lower bowl seats at the Smoothie King Center. This redo adds 2,200 to the 7,100, bringing it up to over 9,300. That's good stuff. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Speaking of good stuff, you can't get it tonight. They're closed on Sunday and Monday. They'll be open tomorrow for lunch. Tuesday through Friday for lunch, including the 3-course $24 lunch special, one of the best deals in the Metro. They're open for dinner Tuesday through Saturday night. I'm talking about Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. I've been talking about Gallagher's for like 6 months. What are you waiting for, South Shore folks? Don't let that drive across the causeway, 22 minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center to Gallagher's 527. There's no driving on the North Shore. You cross the causeway, immediately on your right behind that Shell station, Gallagher's 527. No excuses. I'm telling you, I make the trip to the North Shore a few times a week. I'm at Gallagher's 527. I'm at Trey Yen. 22 minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center. If I'm with a date or friends or family, The conversation in the car goes by so quickly, we're already there. And it's so good. Gallagher's 527, one of the best restaurants in the metro New Orleans area, and they're so Lent ready. So many great seafood dishes. The crab meat St. Francis that I've been gushing about for 6 months. Maybe the best crab meat appetizer on planet Earth. If you go to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville, you have to get the crab meat St. Francis appetizer. So good. South Shore folks, make plans. Lunch Tuesday through Friday, dinner Tuesday through Saturday night. You got to get to Gallagher's 527. It's that good. 2 things will happen if you go. You'll say, Corey was right. I loved it. It was incredible. One of the best restaurants in the city. And the second thing, you'll be going every few weeks because it's that good. I love it. I discovered Gallagher's like 2 years ago. I've probably been 20 times. I love it. So damn good. What's up, Blue Boy? 2 hours already in the books. Unbelievable. You're excited about expansion at Louis Armstrong and potentially the Smoothie King Center. What else? Tell folks to join us tomorrow, Tuesday edition of the program, 4 o'clock. Be here. Down, Blue Boy, down. Good boy. Good boy, Blue.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.